Thank you, Shon. Thank you for everyone at Icon Coaching.
Simon, congratulations, man. You know what that is?
That's winning.
It's winning, baby. I love it when you're winning. That's fantastic.
I got 2 under contract, so that's like 2.8 million in 2 weeks.
You've got to take control of your production to make sure that you're making more money, your bank account balance is rising, that your net worth is increasing, and that's what we want to see happen.
So that they can save the listing.
Which I'm really, really thankful for, Shon. Thank you.
See everyone coming on board. Welcome to Icon Coaching's webinar.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Icon Coaching Webinar Gang. We do this every single Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific. Our intention is to equip you to get out there and crush it with your real estate sales career, to double your production this year over last. Guys, you can do that with our help. There's no doubt about that. We're going to improve your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, your habits. We're going to strengthen your foundation today, such that you can provide for yourself and your loved ones for years and years to come. Now, here's the thing about today's webinar that I'm so excited about. You've already invested time, energy, money, resources to build your database. Now I want you to monetize that database. I want you to figure out how to wring it out to provide for yourself and your loved ones. Guys, the simple truth is that 71% of agents have not sold a single house in the last 12 months. We want to not only equip you to get out there and get your next deal done, we also want to show you some just basic line extensions that are absolutely parallel to what you do day in and day out. And when you add this line extension in particular, you're going to add 50, 75, $100,000 to the bottom line year after year. And that's what I would like to see happen. I know it's what you want to see happen. So without any further delay, I just want to introduce a couple of friends of mine. Elnora Webb, guys, she's a PhD. She is a master of just this model. She understands it frontward and backward, and she's going to articulate that for you, along with Sandy Miller, a client of mine, a friend of mine. I've known Sandy for years, and she's out there in California crushing it with her real estate career. So without any further delay, Elnora, let's introduce you first. Give us a quick background. Tell us your story.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Shon, especially given your leadership and your talents that go so far beyond the obvious, and people who are on here, they know your legacy. I have the honor of working in higher education for almost 40 years, actually was 40 years, and helped over 100,000 individuals with my colleagues to ensure that they could be leaders in so many spaces. Think of a space they're probably leading, whether it's Federal Reserve or their governor, or I can go on and on. The bottom line is that my biggest takeaway as an educator is that we can never know too much. The key thing is to knowing the right thing that's going to get us to our trajectory. And so what we're going to do is share with you one way you can add to your current complement of resources to get to your destination. So I want to just say that you'll see more here that gives you more details. In fact, you can take a screenshot of my background, Sandra's background, and a genius of a spirit who would otherwise be here, Leland's background. But let's let you finish the introduction, Shon.
Oh, fantastic, Elnora. We're all blessed to have you here with us today. Thank you so much. And Sandy Miller, over to you.
Well, Shon, thank you so much. I am just really pumped up, fired up, and super excited to be here. You and I have met years ago, and you've helped me a lot in my real estate career. But when I first bought my first home back in 1981, I paid $42,500, and my interest rate was 18%. I've been in this industry coming up on 45 years, and I've truly seen it all, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. But what really excites me about what we're going to see here today with GFI is that it gives us, as the real estate professionals, the lenders, and other 1099 earners, tools that work in any market. These aren't just products, they're solutions. So we offer living protection for families while they're alive, strategy for tax-free retirement, and advanced planning options, and that help us with high net worth clients, especially those sitting on multiple or highly depreciated properties, to unlock new potentials for them and possibilities for them, which is going to bring us more listings. And here's the best part. It's not only for clients. Most of us in real estate do not have a retirement plan ourselves. And GFI gives us a way to secure our future while serving others. This also gives us a genuine reason to reconnect with past clients and create more referrals and attract higher value listings. And at the end of the day, we can technically work in real estate forever. But do we really want to? When's the last time you saw a retirement party for a real estate agent? That's why I'm so passionate about sharing GFI and about its financial independence with long-term security and creating freedom, not just for our clients, but for ourselves and families as well. So I'm really excited to I called Elnora Dr. Webb. That's how I've introduced her, was introduced to her. And yeah, so I'm really super excited to share this with everyone.
That is phenomenal,
Awesome.
Sandy. Thank you. As a active real estate agent, you've been able to leverage what you're doing with GFI to not only identify additional prospects and candidates, but also earn their business through the process. Guys, as I'd mentioned, you've already built your database. Now let's monetize it. You can go to anybody in your sphere of influence within your database. You can offer the opportunity to get a mortgage protection plan. Elnora, I want you to talk about that and many other things today. I know that you've invested some time with building a slide deck to keep us on track. So I want to leverage that. And you, Elnora, if you wouldn't mind, let's dive into the slide deck now.
Absolutely. So the real problem that real estate alone can't fix is a financial stability. And already, Shon, you started off, you made it very plain. 71% of our real estate professionals across the country sold 0 homes over the last 12 months. I don't need to remind you, it's preaching to the choir. The key thing is you get to unlock what you already have. You leverage your list, whether it's a list of 200 people, 1,000, so many real estate agents and especially realtors and brokers have thousands of folks in their database. You get to unlock that and deal with the fact that in a progressive way, that 63% of Americans have what? They're living paycheck to paycheck. 85% minimum lack the proper protection for themselves, let alone their own estate. And then what is happening is $84 trillion is exchanging hands from the baby boomers like myself and to the next generation. And then if any of us as baby boomers are so fortunate to have parents who are in the generation above, that's another $40 trillion that's exchanging hands. So what happens? If people don't know how to leverage those resources, what happens? That legacy that our parents and grandparents and others created are gone within a generation, if not even before we transition out of this life. So what we're about is building financial independence for folks. And as Shon already briefly went over, and Sandy likewise, mortgage protection, living benefits protection, credit friendly debt elimination plan. And here's the deal. You don't have to spend more money to eliminate your debt. You don't have to experience negative credit. You literally use solutions that we have to offer, and you can pay off your mortgage in half the time. You have credit cards, you have lines of credit, pay it off in not only 50% of the time, maybe 30% of the time because of a structured program that we offer. Infinite banking. Can you imagine having your own bank? And when you need resources going to that, we have so many stores. Advanced planning. Can you imagine having a living trust and being able to help people, not only you, but help other people avoid a probate and having their assets going to other than family or loved ones. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're able to efficiently help people address. And you've got a key. You've got a magic key to unlock this for your existing clients. Can you imagine, let alone others? So getting to Shon's question, and my apologies, Shon, if I'm not as efficient, I'm just fired up as Sandy said, like you are. Case study. Let's use one case study and imagine multiple case studies, but just one. You've got a family called the Joneses family. And if you are able to do this with one family and you do it with 3 families and you do it on average per month, just 3 families you're helping out of the 200 shortlist that you may be using, guess what? They have a mortgage of $1 million. The average cost of a policy to ensure they have mortgage protection is about $250. Can be slightly more, can be slightly less. It's about $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. You help a client with that, you walk away with somewhere between 1,350 and 3,000 literally for that one transaction. And it's more than a transaction because when you're in business with us, you do what you do as a real estate professional. You see your clients for life. You don't see them as a transaction. You see them as sentient beings who have different needs. And at any given time, they go to you. You're the go-to because from their perspective, you're the GOAT in real estate. You're helping them with their needs. And all of a sudden, your resource base expands because you're helping them not just with a securing real estate. And when they're ready to upgrade, sell that real estate and get the next property, you're helping them literally leverage their property, leverage their other assets to build their financial base. And before they know it, they've got the solid foundation where they're building generational wealth. They're no longer concerned about just month to month, year to year. They're looking at long term because of you sharing what you may not have access to now. Now you have access to. Powerful. And so I used the magic number of 200. We could have used 300, we could have used 1,000. But your 200 list, if you do a 200 list, you can literally expect you walk through our system, which is very well defined. You don't have to guess at it. You walk through it, you can walk away with $40,000. That could be in a month, that could be in 2 months, but you can walk away with $40,000 helping that 200. And we get paid twice a week in the United States. We're already approved to be in 59 countries. So we've launched in Canada, we're launched in several countries in South America, we're in Europe, we're in Asia. We expect to be in other parts of the planet, including the continent of Africa and India next year. The point is, if you're here in the US, you get paid twice a week. If you're expanded beyond that, you could be paid up to Monday through Saturday. We keep Sunday sacred. It's like a number of us keep Saturday sacred. But the point is, we want you to build a financial base. And as Sandy said, not leave real estate. You have a right to be there. We need your expertise. We need you to grow and be phenomenal there. But while you're not as successful as you know you will be, can be, and definitely can manifest, we want you to leverage this to add to your portfolio and take off. And all of a sudden, you're more viable. So,
Elnora, I'm going to play devil's advocate just for a moment.
yes.
I can only imagine what the agents are thinking. And guys, I've been in your shoes. There's no doubt about that. I've been doing this for coming up on 35 years. So I've seen just about everything you could possibly imagine. So let's talk about this opportunity. Elnora,
Yes.
I'm sure that some of these agents are thinking, well, I don't have the knowledge or skill set to be able to advise these people on which
Yes.
types of policies should they engage in. What advice would you have for that?
Well, the good news is that when you come on board with us, you are building your own book of business. It's yours, but you're doing it with a team. You
Yes.
get to leverage us as experts. No one experiences this alone, right, Sandy? When you came on board, I was your coach. And then we say, let's expand beyond me and let's leverage Leland, who some of you will get to meet if you're so interested at the subsequent session, the webinar just on the company overview and asking more detailed questions. And you get to leverage training that's daily, Monday through Friday. And oftentimes we have Saturdays, but we honor people's weekends. You get to leverage plug and play systems that are already automated. So you don't have to worry, where do I go for this? Where do I go for that? But so the most important thing is having the support. We are a part of a culture that values the 5 F's. It drives our behavior: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. We went from 24 people testing the system in January of last year. We're now at almost 45,000 people. We're going to be at 100,000 by the end of this year. And you say, well, how's that possible? Think of compounding and compounding pounding. And the reason why people are coming here, they're closing down their agencies or they're adding their agencies to this platform because they want their network, their teams to do much better. And we're with A-rated companies, the top on the planet. In the United States, 32 of them. Think of Fortune 500 companies. Think of the companies, the banks, the corporations, the ultra wealthy put their resources in the same companies, financial and insurance. So when Shon asked that question, I don't know insurance. Well, guess what? I didn't either. Guess what? Sandy didn't either. Guess what?
Can I just share something? So
Yes,
we are
please.
starting, and GFI has created 18 millionaires since January of last year. 18.
Coming on
And
20 very soon.
so some of the people didn't even have very much of an education because they come in and they pour into us. When you get $1 million earners that are pouring into you because they see this mission of helping families dream again, we can't do this alone. We need other professionals to do that, and other professionals that are actually in our real estate space. So they're coming in there. We have a system that is foolproof as long as you follow it, right, Shon? There are systems that you have in your coaching forever that you've had, and people need to follow that. And so we have a training that's coming up that they are just going to be pouring into us to get us to the next level. So that is where you don't really need the experience. You just need to be coachable.
And let me compliment you, Sandy. She hit the nail on the head. The gentleman that co-created this organization with his wife, before they were 40, they amassed over 100 million. They're like, oh, what do you mean? They used a system, they refined it over time with their leaders, and they made certain to refine it further, creating GFI. That gentleman was my mentor, Eric Osen. And I chose because he was taking on this massive level. He said, to everybody, I can't mentor you one-on-one anymore. So who do you want? I chose Leland's Rubin, who is now mentoring both Sandy and I, and he is mentoring Shon. He is a coach's coach, and he knows this like the back of his hand. He knows where to go, what to do, how to do it, and he just does it on automatic. So Sandy is 100% right, and that was one of the first millionaires in the first year. The point is, success leaves clues, and we want you to leverage our successes, and we want you to do it in record time. And the question is, well, can you afford it? We have that there. You probably have already read through all of that. Yes, you should be able to afford it if you just allow yourself the time to do an assessment of where you're at, and then systematically deploy the resources to add this to your current experience. And we promise you, we will give 100%, you give your 100%. We expect you to be successful, and it doesn't matter what's going on, we still expect you to be successful. And I do mean that without going into details. So
Yeah, so
$500.
real quick, let me jump in
Yes.
here and real fast. So
Yes.
yes, guys, you do have to get a license in order to sell life insurance. Yet it's the easiest thing I've ever done. I studied the glossary of terms for 45 minutes. I think I clicked through one or two of the chapters just real quick. Then I scheduled the test, went downtown, took the test. It took me all of about 40 minutes to take the test, 45 minutes to study, guys. We're under an hour and a half. And I got a 98 on the test. It's the easiest test I've ever taken, by the way. So you get your license in place, and then you can start initiating these policies. Now, here's the thing. As soon as they pay their first premium on the policy, you get your full commission for that annual policy amount. So, and you get anywhere from 50 to 80%, depending on your level of production. Is that right, Elnora?
That is correct.
All right. So
That
if
is
it's that typical mortgage policy at $250 a month, that's a $3,000 per year policy. You get up to 80% of that, guys, deposited directly into your account the moment that policy is funded. You don't have to wait 45 days for a closing like in real estate. No, they're going to fund it that week. They're going to pay you that week. This is instant cash in your bank account. So if you're struggling a little bit right now, I want you to really lean in and pay attention to exactly what Elnora and Sandy are talking about, guys. This is going to make a massive difference in your ability to pay your bills, to save the money, and ultimately retire from real estate sales. So back to you, Elnora and Sandy. Take it away.
You're on it. And the key thing is when people say, well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I'm already doing all these things. Here's the important thing. Think of it as part of your capacity. Don't think of it as beyond you. Think of it as, how do I integrate it with what I do so that it's seamless? Because you do so much that is directly aligned with this. So we help you integrate it, and you don't have to figure it out alone. We have mastermind groups. We have pairing of individuals. So you will never be alone here. The other thing is we have high tech. Think of the infrastructure in your home. The individuals who built our infrastructure likely was responsible for part of the infrastructure in your home. No exaggeration. We have the top technology infrastructure. We call it Teva Technologies, that's being fully rolled out this year. And it has these things in it that essentially just know what you think you need in a classic organization, imagine you're going to get more. Oh, we want to share with you this.
Broadway, and I'm a financial strategist with Global Financial Impact and a mortgage professional for over 20 years. Real estate agents, listen up. This message is for you. I've been in business for over 20 years, real estate professionals. And what I can tell you is we are always looking for ways to scale and to grow our business without getting burnt out, trying to reinvent the wheel. Well, this moment is that moment to take your business to the next level. This is how you leverage the skills that you already have, real estate professionals. If you have clientele, high net worth clientele, investors, and maybe they would want to do more transactions if they had opportunities to save on tax. Look, there's a way you can show your clients how to avoid paying unnecessary taxes like capital gains. That would be a game changer. We have a whole advanced planning division. When you come in and the leadership will show you how to do that, how to scale your business. It's all part of the plug and play system. You don't have to go figure this out. It's already set up for you. You just come in, tap into it, and you're off making an extra 20, 30, 40, 50,000, an uncapped amount of income. Real estate professionals, you take those skills that you already have, being tenacious, being salesperson, care to your clients. What if you could keep doing that? You don't have to change anything, but now you've added some more value to that conversation. You've now elevated that experience for those clients. That is the movement that we are on here with Global Financial Impact. We are in a recession-proof industry. Guys, the days where we have to worry about the interest rates going up and down or worry how long a house is sitting on the market. No, in between our market volatility, guess what? In financial services, the money keeps flowing. So this opportunity never sleeps. And this is how we really take our business to the next level, real estate agents, by combining financial services with real estate. Don't even get me started on technology. Now, you know, technology is things are always changing, and Global Financial Impact, they are like the cutting edge of the technology. Send an AI presentation out to someone, QR code. These are the types of things that we're able to provide here, you guys, to our clients. Change their net worth as a family. It's changed my business. To be able to make an extra $10,000 a month is life changing. This is the opportunity to take your business to the next level. Just wanted to share with you guys. It is a blessing for me, and it will be a blessing for you. All right, y'all.
Just imagine, take that presentation, Sandy's and Shon's, and magnify it by hundreds of people. That's what people are experiencing. So this is, and the most important thing, as you already know from your experience in the real estate arena and that major industry, is that it's always bigger than us. And the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. I know Shon's heard that before. Sandy's heard that before. That is a beautiful statement. And the reality is there's a lot of folks in need and they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. Yes, there's people waiting for Sandy, waiting for Shon, waiting for me. There are people waiting for you, and only you are the ones that they're going to respond to. So are you ready to take up that torch, expand and integrate with your current business this opportunity to help more of your clients? That's a key question. And we want you to know you get to ask us additional questions by going ahead and capturing that QR code on the left. We're going to have a session just for those of you who would like to hear the company overview in brief, and Leland will be on that session. You'll get to meet him one-on-one as part of that group, I should say. And any question you have in anticipation, just sign up. Sandy and I are looking forward to joining you there. And then for those of you who are ready to talk, you're ready to sign up right away. You're like, I like this. Thank you, Shon. Thank you, Sandy. Let's get going. Then use the second QR code on the right. You'll sign up, you'll schedule a meeting with Sandy and I, and then we'll give you the details, get you signed up right away, get you moving right away. Can you imagine? It's the end of August, and by the middle of September, already have your license. By the end of September, getting paid. That's what we're about. Now, there's a bonus we want you to be exposed to, and it's a friendly challenge. So the bonus is that You sign up to meet with us, you're going to get a free copy of Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance. And you're like, what? So if 50 of us sign up, 100 of us sign up, well, that's my promise. It's coming out of my paybook because literally that book is an invaluable book. You learn some things you're like, why did I know this? It should be known by everybody. That's why global financial impact is in this business, is to ensure more people are educated. Many folks among the team have enough money they don't have to work. Shon didn't have to add this. Shon added this like a lot of us added this. I'm retired. I have a lifetime of income. I don't need to work. We're doing this because we want to pay forward our successes. We want to pay forward the education so that everyone has the same information and now a level playing field to go and take off as they choose. So what's the other challenge? 90 days, you earn 5 figures. It's very possible. We have people doing it all the time. Literally, over 200 people have earned, actually it's more like 400, I think now, have earned over 6 figures. And then we got almost 20 earning 7 figures. We expect you, if you come on board and you want to earn at least 6 figures in 90 days, we're going to help you do that. And you will win a private coaching with whom? The great, the extraordinary Shon. Who gets that? And then with Leland, wow, that alone is priceless. I paid for coaching and for a week session. Guess what? My highest cost was $25,000. And I might have gotten a total of a day with the person. It's still valuable. And I mentioned a couple of those names. One is no longer here, but well known across the planet. It was worth it. These you get for free, but not free because you're using your time and you're definitely using their time, which is invaluable. And then all tools and training are provided. You like that? So the key takeaways we want you to have is that you already have what you need to succeed. Believe us. We're talking from experience. You can earn 100K part-time. You don't have to be full-time. We have many people who are doing it. This is a movement, not a business. You're fully supported. Hopefully you got that message. We want you to start now. Schedule your one-on-one. This is the same QR code if you're ready to take off and meet with Sandy and I. Okay? And my honor to Shon for organizing this for us, and honor for Sandy to be part of our team and Shon being part of our team. And definitely Leland, who's not here, but will see this video likely, for his leadership, stellar leadership. Take it away, Shon. Or unless you want to say anything else to wrap it up, Sandy.
Actually, I would like to just say something, because one of the things that I was calling some other realtors here, and I have been talking to one, and I called him up and I said, hey, you want to get on? He goes, I'm really busy. He's an investor. And so I'm like, will be really good for you. But what he had told me was, I said, well, do you think you could get on the call? And what he said is, my wife just found out she had brain cancer, and we're just trying to figure it out. Guys, if you are healthy, now is the time to take control of what you can leave your family. When you get brain cancer, something happens. I'm just going to be very blunt and straightforward right now. We're all going to get sick and we're all going to die. Is your family protected? That's what you really need to know. I deal in the probate space, and it can be very heartbreaking. I was just mortified for this guy yesterday. This is his business partner. His business partner is more than likely, I don't know, I didn't get to talk to him very much, but this is what we're protecting. If one of your family members gets hurt, are you going to be able to be financially okay to take care of them and be by their side until the storm passes? And then are you going to be protected after that if it's the breadwinner that passes away? So I just really wanted to tell that, because that was such a heart-wrenching call for me yesterday. And that's really what we're about here, still protecting families. It's not only about making money, but it's about protecting families and giving them tax-free income, tax-free retirement. So sign up.
Hey, you guys, this is a line extension that makes absolute sense. It's not going to take any extra time. All you have to do is simply recommend that they have a conversation with our team here at GFI. You might send somebody to Elnora, for example, to talk about a mortgage protection plan because they just bought a house and they don't want to leave their family in a lurch in the event something catastrophic happens. So you're going to hand them off to Elnora. Elnora will educate them what policy types are available. Do they want whole life? Do they want a term protection plan, universal? Do they need an annuity? Do they want to set up college savings account for their kids? All of these things. You might send them for a mortgage protection plan expecting maybe a $2,000 commission out of this deal that will be paid within the same week. And Elnora brings them back, and you don't get just a $2,000 commission. You get like a $10,000 or $12,000 commission because they were in need of additional services that Elnora and team could help out with. Guys, they'll help them plan their trusts. They'll help them with their wills. They'll help them avoid probate and things of that nature in the future. This is a very, very smart move. And it's for those of you that are really smart. By the way, it doesn't cost you a cent to have a conversation with Elnora and the team. Just scan that QR code, identify a time that's convenient for you. Again, you don't need to understand everything about, by the way, just ask the question, how many of you guys know about electricity, how it's made, how it works, how it goes through the transformers, how it's increased, how it's decreased, the wattage versus volts and amps and all? How many of you understand everything about that? Well,
I
I'd be
know how to
shocked if
flip a
anybody did.
switch.
There you
I know how
go.
to flip
But
a switch.
how many of you can flip a switch? And that's the point I want to make, is that joining with GFI, guys, it's like flipping a light switch. You don't need to understand everything about life insurance, annuities, any of that stuff. As long as you can pass a very simple test, and as long as you have a sincere desire to become financially wealthy and independent, then this opportunity is for you. All you have to do is just say, if I were in your shoes, I'd get a mortgage protection plan to take care of my family. If it's okay with you, I'll connect you with Leland and Elnora over at GFI. They'll talk to you about the benefits of a mortgage protection plan. And again, they'll come back with, whole life policies for their kids. They'll come back with all kinds of things that you're going to get a commission on. Now, I do have a question, Elnora. Let's say that this buyer that I just represented, they just purchased property, got $1 million mortgage. I helped them with $1 million mortgage protection plan, and they've got that in place. Now that's an annual policy. What happens when it comes up for renewal 12 months later and the person renews? Do I get paid again?
No, you get paid one time. However, there is renewal income. So it's residual income when they continue to pay year to year. So yes.
So you have an opportunity to build.
I should have led with yes. But the amount that you got paid up front was commission. Then there's annual renewal residual income.
Okay, good. So you can build an annuity for yourself, you guys, throughout GFI, not in the general sense. You can build residual and passive income. That's a better way to say that, right? So let's do that. Let's do it together, guys. Let's lock arms. Let's figure out how to wring out the money from your database. That's what this webinar is all about. You've already worked hard to build the list. Now let's make some money with that list. Let's open it to Q&A, and you can either type in the chat your question, which I just opened, by the way. Okay, so I heard life insurance. I also heard mortgage insurance. Is it both? Now, mortgage insurance is completely different from life insurance. What we're talking about is a mortgage protection life insurance plan. So this would be a term life policy. It's declining in premium. It's declining in death benefit, and it matches the amortization schedule of the mortgage. So in 5 years' time, if they don't owe $1 million, they owe $975. Well, that's what the death benefit would be. The death benefit is going to match the mortgage amount for the duration of the mortgage itself. So that if that person does die, that the death benefit will pay off that entire mortgage balance and leave the home free and clear for their family. Other questions? And by the way, great question, Joey. Thank you for that. So we don't offer mortgage insurance. We're talking about a mortgage protection life insurance plan. Yes,
correct.
That you can get paid on, you guys. Money's all around you. And guess what? In many cases, it feels like it's free. This is one of those free money opportunities where all you have to do is make a connection between your clients in your database and Elnora and team. It's the smart thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Imagine that they don't. Yeah, imagine they don't have any life insurance and they got hit by a bus tomorrow and their entire family is left in a lurch. You guys, you have the opportunity to help that person make sure that their family is taken care of well after they've left this earth. Okay. So it's a big opportunity.
Yes. And as a compliment, hopefully your clients are not in a state where property and casualty insurance companies have pulled out. And there's some states that property and casualty insurance companies, I won't mention their names, but a number of them have literally said they're not going to cover certain areas because of the devastating fires or the type of conditions that are there that have caused them greater risk and have higher payouts. And some of them have come short, just shy of bankruptcy. So when clients are in that environment, mortgage protection is even more important, right?
So there's a
It
couple of
is.
other questions in the one I answered, but just so that they know, one said, are we in Mexico? And we are, and we pay American dollars in Mexico. So that's a huge benefit. If you know anybody, you could build a team there. Also, Anita said, is this geared towards high net worth families or anyone? It's for anyone. We have a solution for anyone to be protected. But it also can give you into the higher net worth clients that can help raise your commissions. So
And
those are great questions.
And as a compliment, there's no one size that fits all. So we're always looking at the personal details. We do a personal financial review. Some of them are very quick, 10 minutes. Others are much more entailed, depending upon the asset base of the individuals or the assets that they have available. And speaking to Mexico, the difference with many of the countries we're in, I'll take off Canada as an exception, is we do not have to be licensed there. Those who are working with us that are part of our teams, a licensing process is not required. What's required in most of those countries is an interview with our leadership, the leadership that is based in that country or based here and working with the leadership in that country. So that makes it more accessible. And not everyone can be approved to be, and they have to be a professional in their home country. And those are the folks that most people are looking at talking with and bringing them on board to have them scale their business and helping locals. A key thing about Canada, there are licensing requirements. They tend to be more involved and entailed than those in the United States. The United States is pretty flexible, and depending upon the state one is in, it's less time consuming, et cetera, like Texas, where Shon is, go in there, take it, no hour requirements. In California, there are 32-hour requirements. The key thing is, even given the 32-hour requirements, it's a pretty slam dunk. You do what we encourage you to do. And Shon didn't even do what I encouraged him to do. This guy is a master. I told him that, and we did it, went through a few questions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shon. And the guy knew most of the answers. I said, you're ready to take the exam. And
Well-
part of it is because you're in an industry where you must know some of these basic facts and it just transfers. So
Right.
what he said he did is exactly what he did because it was not that difficult.
And Elnora, it's not that I'm smart, guys. It's just that I do have an active real estate license. I promise you this, if you could pass the real estate exam, both state and
Oh,
federal,
God, yeah.
this is a walk in the park, you guys. This is a walk to the park to walk the park. Okay. This is a simple thing to do. So I want you to scan that QR code, guys. Just simply put, let me just ask the question. Can I make some money with you guys? Are you open to that? Can I make money with you? I want you to scan that QR code and let's figure out how we can do that together. Let's lock arms. Let's figure out how to get all of your clients exposed to what GFI is doing. Let's start those conversations with a mortgage protection plan, and it's going to lead to a heck of a lot more, including estate planning, avoiding the probate, and avoiding capital gains in a lot of cases for those that have inherited properties. We've got strategy and tactic for all of those situations, and you're going to approach the market as though you're a absolute expert. You're going to be the go-to. You're going to improve this brand that you're building to create an omnipresent local brand in your market area. So when they think real estate gang, they think you. There are so many benefits. I look at the pros and cons to this. I don't see many cons. I see a lot of pros, that's for sure. So there's a question from Joey again, by the way, that said, okay, so the cost is $500 for the license, fingerprints, and $1 a day. So let's clarify that for him. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's $199 to join the platform with GFI in the United States, just $199. What does that give you? If you don't already have a life insurance license, that includes the cost of the course. Cost of the course is typically $200. It's been discounted to $39.99, and it's included in the $199 cost. we give you a 30-day window to complete the course and expect that you will have taken your state exam, passed it, and then be off to the races. So the cost of the joining is $199, full access to the training online platform, and then the cost of the taking the state exam is different depending upon what state it is, whether it's Colorado or California or New Mexico or New York. And then the cost of fingerprints, I say they're wildly different cost, and make certain that you minimize that cost because they go through the same process. If it's $35 versus $199, I say go get fingerprints for $35. And then there's a form that you use to submit to the Department of Insurance for that state. And then there's a cost to actually, with the state, to pay for your application to be licensed. And then there's errors and omission insurance. That's a monthly cost. Total for the first year, $500 or less. Could be significantly less depending upon the state. So it's not just for licensing, it includes the $199 to come on board, and it includes the course.
Yeah. So
Hopefully
guys,
that helps.
get one client to get a mortgage protection plan. It's all,
And you
it's all
paid for
paid
it.
for. Yeah, you're in the black immediately. I'm not going to bring you something that's going to cost you a ton of money, guys.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring you things that make you a ton of money. And this is one of those things. So yeah, it's a little bit of a headache getting your license. Elnora's here to support you. Sandy's here to support you. Leland's here to support you. They'll hold you accountable, guys. They pushed me to help make this happen. And I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that they did, because this is going to help a lot of families. It's going to help you. And I see a brighter future for those of you who scan that QR code right now. So let's make it happen, you guys. If there's no other questions, I'm going to get back to the real estate convention here in the state of Florida. So if you happen to be in Florida, you happen to be at the state convention, come track me down in the vendors hall with the Federal Savings Bank and realty.com. And we're teaching agents how to generate a whole bunch of leads. So come see me if you happen to be at the event. But you guys, thank you from the
I
bottom
just
of my
have
heart. Yes.
one question's in the question and answer, and it says, will this work if someone is already ill, like Sandy's client, like I just mentioned? And we do have carriers that will actually, it really is depending upon the case. So really, you want to learn more, to just take a picture of the QR code or click at the QR code and set a time, and we'll be able to talk more with you as we go. But thank you, Shon, so much. Appreciate all that you do.
You guys, my pleasure. Scan that calendar link, guys. Identify the time that's going to work best for you. And we're going to have weekly masterminds that for those of you who do engage, so that we
Yeah.
can just pour into you. We can just teach you some scripts, some dialogue, some objection handlers. We'll provide marketing assets for you to send out to your entire database to get them to say, yes, I'd like to engage in mortgage protection. Additionally, Elnora is going to help you out with things like QR codes. You guys have like an instant approval that they just scan the
Yes.
QR code, complete the web form, and they
Yes.
magically have life insurance in place on a term
You
life
got it.
plan. Tell them about that real quick, Elnora.
Well, that's the powerful thing. So we have a number of our carriers that provide instant approval, meaning what is that? Instead of going through a week or 2 week review through an individual underwriter, it's AI driven. So most of our medical files are online now. Most of our private data that we consider private is online. It's accessible to organizations like insurance companies because they're legitimate organizations to access that. Not only our medical records, our driving records, our credit. Those are 3 that are used. And so with AI, you can just literally in 5 minutes, maybe even less, verify that someone qualifies for term insurance to address their mortgage needs, mortgage term insurance, life insurance. I want to give all the nuts and details, but I won't. I'll keep it simple. And so within 15 minutes, you could have applied, gotten approved, and signed off and submitted payment, and now you're covered within that same day.
And then you're
if there's
paid a
any
couple of days later.
and then you get paid literally on that either that Tuesday or that Friday, depending upon when the transaction closed. Isn't that a trip? And imagine doing just 10 of those during the course of a week. And so that 40,000 that we were talking about, or 15 of those, or 30 of those, that 40,000 we were talking about before, you make it the first month. We have people who earned over 50,000 this month. We have 2 people who earned over 200,000 this month. We have at least one person who earned over 500,000 in the month. And they're no more special than you are. They just chose to use the system, learn it, and what they didn't know, they leverage. We leverage all day long. And
Yep.
Leland is extraordinary. He leverages all day long.
Yep.
We're not too good to leverage. We're smart enough to leverage.
Well, guys,
Shon?
this is a leverage opportunity. You don't
Yes.
really have to do a darn thing other than just get the candidate to say, yeah, I'm interested in life insurance. Hand it off to these guys. They do all the work for you and you get paid. It's so good. Go ahead,
Thank
Cindy.
you.
Shon, so a couple of people have asked, will they get a recording of this if they've signed up? They've been in and out of their car. Do they get a recording of this when it's over?
Yes, we'll send out the replay here in about an hour to anybody and everybody who registered. Whether you showed up or not, you get the replays.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So I know they asked that question twice. Thank you, Shon, so much.
Oh, my
Enjoy your
pleasure.
conference and appreciate all you do.
Masterful
you, Dr.
job, you
Webb.
guys. Thank you so much for being here and just adding value to our audience here at Icon. These agents need support. They need new ideas, fresh ideas to make more money for their families. And I'm so glad that you guys are
Let's
doing
just
what you're
get it
doing.
done.
It is a blessing. You guys scan the QR code. It is a real blessing that we're giving to you and your family. You can make a whole bunch of extra money, and money's good. Trust me, money is good. Yet it's good for the good it can do, and you can do a lot of good things with a lot of money. Guys, let's make some together. Can we? Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Shon.